Medicine 26. Check out the highlights for New Comic Book Day February 18, 2026. Vertigo brings us a new #1 about a talented hitman who has to learn responsibility titled End of Life. Absolute Batman gets issue number 17. Wonder Woman and Catwoman continue. Laura Kinney continues in Generation X 23. Jeff the Landshark meets Daredevil in a new one-shot. And big changes for the Marvel Universe start here with Wolverine, Weapons of Armageddon. Jump into a new action comedy series called Death Fight Forever or a haunted thriller in the new series White Sky. Darkness, G.I. Joe, and Exquisite Corpses continues. American Caper moves to issue number 4. From the film Smile comes a new comic titled Smile for the Camera. Kermit and the Muppets go noir in a new series. Get what you want, and more, at iwantmorecomics.com.
Well, we meet again.
Hello.
Richie, I was thinking about with this show?
What were you thinking?
What if we provided good information?
Right? Like, how cool would it be if, like, you didn't have to worry about, like, the hype show's just kind of like a reassurance show. Like,
I knew I was right. I got that stuff.
Yeah. How good is that? How great would that be? We're definitely going to chat about that.
There might be a landmine in the middle of the show.
It might. Yeah, it just might.
Welcome all to the Tuesday night half-hour hype, where we look into the future / into the present, because we're all technology savvy like that, and have already loaded all of those things up to the website that are going to be available for people to pick up tomorrow. But why wait, right?
I wouldn't wait on some of these.
Follow on directly on the website, iwantmorecomics.com, or if you are a Hold Slot Portal member, you can jump right in there and click the little buttons to reserve as we go. But here we are to look at the potentials of things that, like we just want to raise the radar a little bit. Maybe you care. Maybe you already knew. Like we said, those of you that are following along on the Sunday night Final Orders Do show, you guys are probably pretty educated. You probably know what's what, right?
Most likely, yes.
I mean, we fake it, so you guys can.
So you can make it.
Yeah,
that's correct.
No big deal there.
That's gonna be our slogan. We fake it, so you can make it. Why don't we? You want to just talk about the elephant in the room? You want to just get that out of the way?
Nah, because you know what, people come in a little bit late, so we'll give it a second.
All right. We'll
have everyone pondering and wondering.
Yes.
Besides, people who watch the show, maybe they're adding stuff to the cart, and if it's the last thing we cover, then they can make a decision at that point in time to add it and hit the checkout button, because I'm pretty sure like that it could be gone.
That's fair enough. So let's chat real quick about, we have a ton of #1s dropping this week, and I thought we would try to get through them all. A few of them are a little, like, I think Dynamite has these ones that come out after their regular issues come out.
So it's a difficulty in how you do business. And I don't mean this as a bad thing for Dynamite. I mean, you have two choices when you're going to produce material. Things that take longer to produce. The physical process takes longer. There are extra steps. Say, like, you print a comic, and then you need to, like, maybe randomize those comics, and then you need to put them back in blind bags. Those are extra steps. Those are not normal process. So usually those types of things take longer. Well, you can either solicit them and make the final orders faster, like that you need to have an earlier kind of thing. And we'll let Nam get into our next spot here about Catwoman. So you say, like, you put the blind bag up like 1 or 2 weeks before the regular issue, but then people are kind of like a little disjointed because of when they're doing the ordering, or you put it together and maybe it has to release later. And of course, if there's any kind of production problems and something like that, that'll delay it and has to have it come out here. But I know what you're talking about, because we have a huge catch up this week of several things that we felt like that maybe they would have already been out. They feel like that they would have matched up earlier, but they're here now. And so the examples are the Fire and Ice Necron blind bag because we have already had Fire and Ice Necron, right?
We have.
Read Sonya's New Year's special. Well, we just did Valentine's special.
Right.
That was there, right? I think
Yeah.
those were 2 blind bags that hit this week. And then
Yeah.
this Harley Quinn Elvira Metal Premium. Metal Premiums always come out a little bit later.
Mm.
And we had an order in for one of these, the $100. It is, if you guys have never seen it, it is a metal book. And
Yeah, they're hefty.
we had an order come in the back of my mind, I was like, man, I should confirm that the person really wanted the $100 version. But I waited too long to message the customer. And then afterwards I messaged them and they're like, oh no, I really didn't want, I'm like, no problem, man. We'll you're a good customer. We'll turn around and get you the right one you were looking for. So we took care of that there. But so those things don't line up with the rest of their releases.
Right.
But that's why they're here now.
Okay. Well, real quick, if you want, we can talk about that number one and then move over to Nam's question. But
Sure.
With the things on the catch up for Dynamite, we also have a new number one called Muppets Noir, which I'm excited about. It is written, illustrated, and the cover is all Roger Landgridge. This is Kermit's trying to start his show, like a typical show. He gets hit with a brick, and then in his head, he now has to solve dark, gritty, noir crime stories. If that doesn't sell you, I don't know what will. It's just Noir and Muppets, which is like they wrote something strictly for me. This does have a deluxe blind bag as well, so you can have your own Noir mystery if you want to pick up. There's a lot of options, but I do think for a fun read, you should try this out and give it a shot.
Yep, fun there.
Now we can move over to the question because I do really care about people engaging. So let's see if I can guide you to the best Catwoman cover. There are absolute just bangers all the way across the board. The Runway featuring that A cover is great. That's Sebastian Fiumara. Fiumara. I really do like that. But if I'm going for a variant, I know that Frank chose Easy, like that's the easy pick. I do think we got damages on that one, if I'm correct. So we're a little light on that bad boy.
Yeah, let me bring them all back so we can see. Yeah, the Cho did not come in healthy.
Mm-hmm.
I think that there was actually production, and we're trying to get better ones because of the blue background.
I think the thing that I like with the variant theme is every single one of them have cats in it. I really dig that.
Oh, it's Catwoman and cats.
Yes, Catwoman and cats. Yes, but I did highlight the one that I thought was my favorite, and I think that Scott Forbes has a lot of stuff going on. Not to undersell it though, is the coloring on that cover is ridiculous. So it's got the great illustration, has the beautiful art. I like the action sequence. It's Catwoman doing what Catwoman does best, being a cat burglar, and the soft coloring and lighting. I think that's the winner for me.
I like it.
That answers your question. Do I have anything in DC?
You want to talk about the biggest DC book of the week?
Let's talk about the biggest one.
Physically, the largest one.
That is correct. It is huge. This thing is gigantor.
Dark Knight's Metal, the Work in Progress edition, the WIPs, which really gets you a behind-the-scenes look at pencils and how deep the art really kind of goes. We've all seen this, the rough sketch kind of idea. This time, we're going to take the ride with Greg Capullo, and that's not a bad name.
Yeah, no, not at all.
So these are ginormous. That's why they're $15. They're about one Richie high, one Richie wide in size.
That's not a good measurement.
So, like bring a child's safety seat if you need to take it home.
It's very cool though. Looking at it was really dope.
It's a cool little thing. I'm very happy on these that they pick great artists and great books to do, and yet we don't see one of these every single week. So it is kind of a special treat as opposed to being something that, they're just going to slam everything out with.
Absolutely. We do have a number one that is DC adjacent, Vertigo has a new #1 popping out this week. It's from Kyle Starks called End of Life. This is the same team that was on Peacemaker Tries Hard. I know a lot of people that really enjoyed that book and that series. This doesn't stray too far from that kind of genre to me. This is a hitman that was all talent, makes one simple mistake and puts his entire career and life at risk, has to kind of go back to his ground roots and rebuild everything that he had previously without working for it. I was talking to one of our great customers, Nick DeFries, about this. And Nick, if you're listening, this is the one that you want. He just bought the trade paperback because he loved Peacemaker Tries Hard so much. He bought the trade. And I was like, you got to pick up this new Vertigo comic I was talking about. And this is it. End of Life begins this week. I think it's going to be a really fun ride. If you're into Peacemaker the show, this is an easy pickup, and I think you're going to have a really great time with it because it's Vertigo. It's going to go further than where DC would normally end it on the editing stage. There's lots of craziness, if you will, on this book.
Yep.
From there, we can jump over to IDW for another movie-esque style book, Smile, for those that are into horror. Smile, the movie, has a comic book offshoot. This is set the stage in 2005 with actually being part of the fashion statement. Fashion Month is kicking off, and Smile is all the gore, all the scary, all the fear wrapped up in this mini series from IDW. If that's your jam, I think you want to pick this up. I think it's more of the same for that. If you haven't seen the movie, maybe not for you, but it's really neat when I really enjoy when stories offshoot become popular enough to offshoot into comic books, because typically you can kind of tell more story that you couldn't get away with in the hour and a half of a movie. So.
Yep.
More into independence, we have Red 5 Comics coming out with Snow Monkey #1. For those unfamiliar with Snow Monkey, it premiered at Free Comic Book Day. I believe it got trapped in the Diamond collapse and now is finally hitting the racks. So you may have heard of it. It's in the back of your head, why do I know that? It's because of all that nonsense. But Snow Monkey finally lands on the racks. I have a soft spot for it because I love all things ninja. Snow Monkey is a helmet that gives you all the knowledge of every warrior that ever lived. This is
It's not a real monkey?
It's not a real monkey. No, it's a helmet of the Wukong.
Do not get confused in thinking that you're buying a real monkey book.
Correct. It's not. It is. It's just the name. Jennifer Gatlin is a daughter of a crime lord who is training other people to assassinate, and she's going to stand in between it. It's a 4-part mini. So if you're into ninja stories, I think this is one that you might miss your radar. So don't miss out.
Yeah, I definitely think that there's a trap there. I mean, the art looks like the way the helmet works with the face mask and all this.
Yes.
So, the first impression I always had about this was I was like, oh, we've got Monkey,
fighting monkey.
Yeah, something like that. It's not.
It is nothing to do with cocaine or a monkey. So
it's not cocaine monkey.
Yeah.
Right.
However, if you're looking for cocaine because you're missing out on that,
boy, do I
have a comic book for you. Under Mad Cave Studios this week, we have the greatest title of a comic book of all time, Florida Hippopotamus Cocaine Massacre #1 releases. And if you haven't purchased it yet, what are you waiting for? This is ridiculous from the concept alone. It is bonkers, and I think it's just going to be a blast to read.
This is absolutely hilarious. All the little details inside of it. You can read through this about what's what about it. 2 covers, and the Merca and Dolpho is just spectacular.
Yes, it's just great.
You
if you're gonna pick it up,
eyes, that's just whacked out. whacked out.
He had a blast with that cover, you can tell.
Yeah.
But yeah, don't miss out. That's just going to be fun incarnate. And if you're looking for fun, there is another one from Image Comics called Death Fight Forever. This is another miniseries premiere. This is going to be if we decided to take 80s or early 90s video games like Double Dragon and Street Fighter and things like that and made it reality. We've done this with television shows. We've done this with movies. Comic books just fit the same bill. It's going to be over the top. It's going to be hardcore machismo action and a lens on what that means. I think it will be a blast. If you're into it, make sure you pick it up. Everything I've read about it is hilarious. So
I am expecting a little bit deeper storylines than say straight up Double Dragon.
Oh, I would agree. Yes,
it's going to be done in the vein of, but expanded in a way that no Nintendo cart could ever get you there.
Absolutely. It's going to go wide for sure. Then, Keith, why don't we talk about a little bit of a confusing debacle that you and I had that was clearly all my fault over at Titan Comics.
I told you about this.
You did. And if you do watch our shows weekly and are committed to watching every one, one, I appreciate that. Thank you so much for giving us your time. We genuinely can't do this without you. Two, you are going to go, what?
We cannot. This is definitely Richie being confused. It has nothing to do with that the publisher duplicated barcodes, duplicated series codes, changed things around, moved the book 2-3 times, moved issue 1, made it a series of one shots instead of 2 parts. Nothing about that. It's just all on Richie.
Yeah, it was all me. So for those that were following along, Lenore, who is an amazing, hilarious comic book written and illustrated by Roman Dirge from Invader Zim fame. Lenore is a crack-up, awesome book that everybody should be reading. It's one of Sean's absolute favorites. We've done it for book club. It's definitely one of our store favorites. And The Curse of the BB Yaga is going to be releasing today. And we have another one-shot that will be releasing later that should have been featured on Finalers Do show, but was a different title. And that was called Blood and Steel. Is that right?
Blood and Sand, I think.
Sand, okay. But regardless, if you're looking for Lenore Curse of the BB Yaga, it is releasing today. It is out. It's available right now, right here on the website. It will be on the rack tomorrow when we open. So don't miss out. I don't want you to miss out because of the publishers and distributors problems. I don't want customers to miss out because of that nonsense. So it is available right now. It's a great, hilarious comic. If you heard us talk about it, we do kind of do it ad nauseum. So just don't miss out. Curse of BB Yaga #1 one shot releases today.
Yep.
That will move us into Marvel #1s, which there are a few.
All right.
And we will start right off the top with Black Panther getting a 60th anniversary special with 2 incredible great writers celebrating basically just 6 decades of the King, man. He's gone from Wakanda to space to basically protecting our entire galaxy and everything in between. Black Panther fans this is a must buy. I think if you're even slightly interested in Black Panther, this is an easy pickup. It's just going to have great stories in it. Bunch of little 5-page stories with great creators tied to it.
Yep. Plenty there for that.
Moving into The Deadly Hands of Kunlun. This is going to be a new #1 in the Iron Fist universe. For those that have been following along, we have Danny Rand, then we have Swordmaster, and now we have a new little Iron Fist. This is going to be kind of just expanding that universe. They've been doing basically 3-part short stories and continually moving it down to the next story just to see. I think they're doing it the safe way. You know, like we know that we can get a 3-part story out. It doesn't need to be ongoing. Let's just do that. So I think it's working very well. It's gonna have a bunch of other people in it: Elektra, White Tiger, White Fox, Pei. Every basically, again, I'm a sucker for ninjas, and Marvel is no exception. I love all these characters. I'm happy that they have a little story ongoing, and because it's been short, it's been concise and very to the point, and I've enjoyed that about these series. There's no fluff. It's straight action and to the point. There's hardcore consequences. If you're feeling interested, pick it up. Don't miss out, and join in on the fun with me. And then we move into something I know Keith's involved in a little bit, but this is Generation X23. Laura Kinney, for all those peeps that have been following around with X23, Laura Kinney's series has ended with our last crossover event, which is escaping me right now. Age of
Revelation.
Revelation, thank you. And now the new Laura Kinney ongoing is going to be titled Generation X23. So if you're on Laura Kinney, you are now on Generation X23 to smooth out any confusion there.
Well, and this is a little bit of a team book, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's Laura and Gabby kind of thing. So I guess like duos book kind of a piece there. I really appreciate the creators and what they've done with X23. This is a character that could have been way simpler than what Laura's turned out to be. Mm-hmm. And that over the time and the years about this, it has done a very good job of growing her as an individual character, somebody you care about, somebody who has a related past, but a unique past. So
yes, right.
It's not just a carbon copy like you can get out of a lot of other cloned out characters kind of idea. So it's done really well like that. And then variants, we have another runway of problems with choices here.
I was going to say the variants on this are ridiculous.
Lee Garbet, solid. The Ji-Hung Lee is very much your way more modernized. Scotty Young plays to exactly the fandom there. But this Elizabeth Torque with the homage back to that Wolverine that everyone from the 90s remembers. I believe issue 20, I think is the right one on that. But just well done. Just really, really, really nicely done out there. Good options to have, and will add fun to your collection.
Excellent.
You technically have a number one here next to it.
Might as well just talk about it, right? It's sure. Jeff, and he's meeting Daredevil, and I don't know if you need more than that. I mean, on the A cover, Jeff has a candy cane, and he's using that as his Mascara sticks, so that's fantastic. This is just par for the course. Kelly Thompson, Gihuru, and Jeff. I don't think everything here is going to be great. However, there is one thing that stands out, and yep, Keith is right on it. This cover.
We've had this conversation too many times.
We have so many. It's already come up a couple times, but honestly, this cover is fantastic. It should be in your personal collection. Don't let it pass you by. You're going to regret it if you do.
Mm-hmm.
It's Jaws Daredevil. I don't know what you need from past that,
No, seems pretty great.
Obviously, there's going to be a few other short stories in the back of it, but this is for my Jeff fans, and you're all out there and going to grab it anyway. So next up, we do have one that I think you actually have a little more information on as well, but it's called Wolverine Weapons of Armageddon #1. This is a Wolverine comic, but it's going to cause massive ripples through the Marvel universe. Zdarsky, who we know is someone that takes on giant projects, had to drop a project to take this on. He's doing so much with Marvel in the next several months, if not year. And it all starts right here with Weapons of Armageddon #1.
So if you'll notice here that this has a banner over it, that I believe this is the very first part of it that stands out in all this, and that's Armageddon assembles in 4 months. So as mentioned there, Zdarsky's taking a a leadership role in creativity at Marvel that will be overseeing several projects, overseeing an overarching storyline. And we believe this is where it starts. Again, we haven't had full announcements for it. Maybe we get a little bit more detail this week. Comics Pro is going on, so it'd be a time to kind of like start a little bit there. Also, we're getting very close to next month's catalog, which would line up with all of that, those types of things coming out. So we're expecting to see more and more details here, but we can infer some details here. If they're billing a big banner right now from 4 months away, they're planning a big storyline.
Yeah,
And
it will be huge.
This is not something, it's just a Wolverine storyline. This is going to go probably almost line wide.
Yeah, and I would agree with that. I will say if you are on Wolverine, you got automatically tied to this. So check it out and give it a chance. I will probably create a Armageddon all-in for everybody so you can sign up on your portal. But I would be looking out for this. I think I would suggest picking this up if you're a Marvel fan at all and see where this might take your universe and see if you want to jump on early.
Holy cow on those variants. Just across the board. The Panosian foil is outstanding.
Yeah.
I am also very much drawn to the
Zdarsky. Yeah. Who'd have thought? Like, it's just
here's the thing. Chip does these covers every so often, right? He does a little bit of dabbling into this, and they always become the cover you remember. Like they always are something that stick in your head, whether it's story related or whether it's just how it presented. He's got a massive talent there for turning around and delivering. So that's there. The Raposa, the Rosebesh, it's good across the board.
Cornucopia of awesome. So we have a little bit of time. We should probably
I think we jump to it now.
Okay.
Because I think that the thing is like some of it's going to keep selling. If people are hearing my phone go off and all this, that sales coming through.
Mm-hmm.
We always wanted to say we told you so.
It's not so much that we told you so as that we wish you would have been there kind of thing. You know, I want, especially people that watch this, if you're hearing me, if you're hearing our voices, if you're dealing with our faces every week, you should be benefiting from that, you know? And White Sky from Image Comics is the perfect example. We had a perfect example last week, and now we have another example this week. Don't make it a third week in a row, right? We talked about White Sky in full. I explained what it was going to be about. I told you that you should get on it early. And Image Comics right now is exploding, and you don't want to be behind the 8 ball on that. So what has happened is competitive market pricing has put this bad boy at well over what we're putting it out there at. I think we saw sales as high as $90, something crazy. We're just not going to do that. We're not out to gouge people, but we are a competitive marketer, you know, and this is the price. So right now we have them at $20, but you and past you definitely could have purchased this bad boy for a whopping, what, $4.99?
$3.99 on the A. So
$3.99.
There were 4 or 5 people that either pre-purchased it or hold slots that reserved it. And those books are still in your box today at $3.99.
Yes.
That's what we do. You know, you guys stepped up. You said, yeah, I'm in for that and all this. It's what you have. I don't know if Nam's still listening to the show. I know Nam was on this. He put in an order for it when it happened. His copy is going to be $3.99. And this is what we really want to reinforce with everybody. Come join us Sunday nights for the final order cutoff to plan ahead, to be ahead of the game. We get benefit because we can turn around and you kind of guide some of our ordering. When we see a lot of people jumping on, we pay attention, we order up. But more importantly, I just want the people first in line to be serviced, you know, and that. So Right now, the A and the B are at 20. It is consistently selling on eBay. I just looked back up.
Yeah.
People are putting it up anywhere from $18. Right now, the last couple of sold are 35s.
Yeah.
It has gone through the roof on a couple things, but this is the hot, mess book of the week and all this. So if you are interested in reading it and you're like, oh man, I wish I hadn't, I don't know, $20. I will guarantee you, it hasn't been announced yet, but I will guarantee you within the next 48 hours, there will be an announcement of a second print. You will be able to read this book for $3.99 if you want to check it out and read it in. But I will say this, one of the best things I saw somebody today was they grabbed it at 20 and they pre-ordered issue 2 at $3.99 today.
They're already on it.
It's already on the site. You can get it, like we put the stuff up out there and all this, or you can come back to us when it's on the Sunday. Prior to us putting orders in, it's going to be that price. We don't move it up before then because we can always adjust our orders and get it in. Now we have a limited supply. Now we're dealing with market price. That's when things change.
That's exactly right. We will run out of time here. I did want to highlight just a couple things to go look at. Powers 25 has a great Stan Sakai cover that I was laughing at with Keith earlier on.
You were laughing at Sean.
Yes, at Sean specifically, we're laughing at him, but it's amazing. Star Trek The Last Starship has a Mike Allred variant. That's fantastic, celebrating 60 years of Star Trek. There's 2 facsimiles from DC, Batman Adventures and Detective Comics 1937, Batman Year 2. Excellent. The X-Men 1 in 25 Karen Darbo variant is ridiculous. I think it's just absolutely captures your eye. And then the 1 in 25 Esad Ribic Psy variant with Psylocke and her pooch is ridiculous as well. So those are all my little highlights that I didn't have time to show you. It's that one right there, Keith. There you go. Yeah, that thing's sweet. So
that's pretty great.
Excellent covers. I really like when the 1 in 25 feels like it's a 1 in 25,
It feels special. Yeah.
Yeah, like that feels special. That's exactly what a 1 in 25 should be. So enjoy. We will be at it tomorrow morning. You have all night to purchase. Have a wonderful time. We got to get out there and start pulling, okay?
Yep. Thank you, one. Thank you all. We will see you then.
Bye.
Don't miss in 26. Check out the highlights for New Comic Book Day February 18th, 2026. Vertigo brings us a new #1 about a talented hitman who has to learn responsibility titled End of Life. Absolute Batman gets issue number 17. Wonder Woman and Catwoman continue. Laura Kinney continues in Generation X23. Jeff the Landshark meets Daredevil in a new one-shot. And big changes for the Marvel Universe start here with Wolverine, Weapons of Armageddon. Jump into a new action comedy series called Death Fight Forever or a haunted thriller in the new series White Sky. Darkness, G.I. Joe, and Exquisite Corpses continues. American Caper moves to issue number 4. From the film Smile comes a new comic titled Smile for the Camera. Kermit and the Muppets go noir in a new series. Get what you want, and more, at iwantmorecomics.com.